family. The track we're about to interact with right now was brought to my attention via a donation from one of our subscribers. Now, if you want to recommend a song, the link to the PayPal is going to be in the description below because, of course, YouTube yanks 30% of super chats. Guys, I appreciate, as always, your open, curious attention. Back to the video. Warzone sounds early.
The cerebrum has suffered massive and irreparable damage.
You never know what has happened to him.
Had I not been sure of this, I would not have permitted him to live.
Where?
Father? I need help.
What is democracy? What is democracy?
Got something to do with young men killing each other.
When it comes my turn, will you want me to go?
For democracy, any man would give his only begotten son.
Man, they're cooking with grease early. They were talking about democracy. I think it may have been Plato or Aristotle who said that democracy is 3 wolves and a sheep debating over what to have for dinner. or 3 sheep, or 1 sheep and 3 wolves voting on what to have for dinner. Something like that.
It is impossible for a decerebrated individual to experience pain, pleasure, memory, dreams, or thought of any kind. This young man will be as unfeeling, as unthinking as the dead until the day he joins them.
You know what's interesting is they're doing that same, that's not a 4/4 time signature, I don't think. That's like that early, I kind of know Tool for that kind of, that abrupt, I always forget the name of it. Leave it in the comments below if you're familiar with kind of what they're doing with that drum. It's like the pattern interrupts a little bit earlier than your mind expects it to. Sorry, I hit the mute button. Continue to cook.
As unthinking as the dead until the day he joins them.
I don't know whether I'm alive and dreaming or dead and remembering.
How can you tell what's a dream and what's real when you can't even tell when you're awake and when you're asleep?
Where am
I can't remember anything. Can't tell if this is true or a dream. Deep down inside I feel the scream. This terrible silence stops in me. Now that the war is through with me, I'm waking up, I cannot see that there's not much left of me. Nothing is real but pain now.
It said now that the war is done with me. You know what's crazy? That's an amazing insight into the mind of a soldier, right? Because we think, those of us who have never been in war before, we're grateful when the war is over, when we're done with the war. But it's like that turning of the phrase, when the war is done with me, because it's using you up. It just uses your bones. Right, uses your body, uses your muscles. My dad and my big brother are both retired military on Fort Lewis in Tacoma, Washington, and it kind of does its work on your body.
Hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh, please, God, wake me.
I just went ahead and chopped off everything. Oh, God. Please make them hear me. They won't listen. They won't hear me.
Wake me up, I'll be like this for years.
Hear me.
Back in the womb, it's much too real. In pumps life that I must feel, but can't look forward to reveal. Look to the time when I live, fed to the tube that sticks in me.
Ooh.
Just like a wartime novelty, tied to machines that make me be. Cut this life off from me. Hold my breath as I wish for
Guys, what they're describing is kind of like locked-in syndrome. There's a book called The Butterfly and the Diving Bell. And this book was written by, I believe it was a journalist who had a stroke while driving. And this stroke kind of left them paralyzed to where all they could do is blink their eyes. And through their blinking, like the book was written through their blinking. They would blink out the letters and someone would write it down. And it's all about what it feels like to be locked into a body that you can't move, right? Yeah, I recommend it. It's called The Butterfly and the Diving Bell.
Oh, please, God, wake me.
It's like a piece of meat that keeps on living. It won't always be like this, will it?
I can't live like this. I can't. Please, no, I can't. I can't. Help me. Somebody please help me. Mother, where are you? Help me, Mother. I'm having a nightmare and I can't wake up.
Guys, it's really, really terrifying. Like when you think about it, especially with the music video accompanying it. This is one of the reasons that the Stoic philosophers want us to embrace fatality, because they said what you fear is not death, because where you are, death is not. Where death is, you are not. What you fear is fatality. You fear having to go with the flow, not being able to resist what's done to you, right? And so the Buddhists and the Zen teachers and the Taoists, they want you to they want to teach you to let go, to embrace fatality, right? Not embrace death. Death and fatality are subtly different. But I was thinking, what if you wake up tomorrow and you can't move your body, and you don't know why, and you're just kind of locked in? Will you freak out? And like how I mean, all of us would, if we're all being honest, right? But the depth of suffering that would cause in you is correspondent to how much control you thought you had, right? Think about that. And so it's very wise to relinquish as much control now, or to realize that, to have an ecology of practices to where you can relinquish control and realize that you're not ultimately in control of the things you think you have control over, right? Doing that will save you from the terror of that time which is coming inevitably to all of us when we have to relinquish control. Whether it's through some accident like they're talking about now, or some car accident, or whatever it is.
Now the world is gone, I'm just one. Oh, God help me, hold my breath as I wish for death. Oh, please, God help
Me lying here like some freak in a carnival show.
He is the armless, legless wonder of the 20th century.
This has a dignity all its own.
Family, as they're tearing it to pieces on this Selah moment, right? Selah just means it's a time to pause and reflect. So I'm pausing and reflecting. I think another method of kind of relinquishing control is to realize that you are not separate from the events in your past. Because as I'm looking at this, I'm like, man, a soldier, sacrifices his life to be on a battlefield, puts himself in harm's way for the sake of his country, for the sake of his family. And then this is kind of what they get, a life kind of trapped in their own body, being fed by tubes and all these other things. There's a part of me that looks at that and is kind of unwilling really to countenance everything that means. But then there's another side of me that says, look, this divide that we put between causes and effects is arbitrary, right? The war is this big elongated thing. It's what you're experiencing in the hospital bed is not separate from the war. It's not like here is this individual that, it's like this whole thing is just one terrible event. And so you shouldn't think of yourself as set apart from the events in your past. You are what the past looks like now, right? Hopefully that makes some sense. Yo, I love that it showed him with those kick drums. I will always have a deep respect for the double kick drum.
I need help. I'm in terrible trouble and I need help.
Don't you remember when you were little?
Yo, the kick drums are the machine guns. Do you hear that? Do you hear that?
I need help. I'm in terrible trouble and I need help.
Don't you remember when you were little? How you and Bill Harper used to bring a wire between...
Guys, they're amplifying the turmoil. Imagine this. I didn't even think about that before they started on this part. It's the psychological problem too, right? Because when you're on the hospital bed, it's not only the physical pain. It's not only the fact that you can hardly breathe. It's not only the fact that you're, eating from a tube and that you have to get help when you're going to the bathroom and all this. But internally, all you're hearing is that right? Guys, I love what they're doing with this part.
Remember when you were little? How you
That's
and Bill
brutal.
Harper used
That's
to
brutal.
Bring a wire between the two houses so you could telegraph to each other. You'll remember the Morse code.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live, I cannot die. Trapped in myself, body my only cell.
It's Morse code. For what? SOS.
Fam, is this something like Metallica is very... I've covered, 3? This is probably my 4th Metallica song on this channel that we've covered. And what's crazy is this is early Metallica, it seems like. And they are forcing us to participate in this horror. And there's things that you haven't even considered about what people are going through, right? It really challenges people who kind of take these things for granted. There's somebody out there right now, guaranteed, who's living through something like this in the life of their mind and in the feelings of their body.
Help.
Landmine has taken my sight, taken my speech, taken my hearing, taken my arms, taken my legs, taken my soul, left me with life in hell.
What's he saying? He says, kill me. Over and over again. Kill me.
Don't you have some message for him, Padre?
He's the product of your profession. Not mine.
Guys, what do you think about people being kind of artificially alive? I mean, we don't understand. I mean, no matter how much science develops, I mean, maybe AI will teach us something about it when it gets, sufficiently artificial general intelligence, or maybe aliens will have, some kind of key or some kind of magic insight around life and death, but we just don't. Human beings just don't get it. And so we like to keep human bodies artificially alive, regardless of the experience of what that person's experiencing, or whether they're capable of letting us know what the experience is like. And I've seen a lot of that. Somebody's just just hanging on, and they're just on a bunch of tubes, and their families are pouring money into a bunch of machines that are kind of keeping this person, keeping their heartbeat, keeping some kind of brain signal going or whatever.
Not mine.
Ooh. Oh, that's fire. Yo, does Metallica go ham sandwich on that guitar these days? Like, did they kind of slow down with their with the sick, nasty solos, or are they still kind of pumping that out? Because I didn't hear this on the last song.
I'm asking you to kill me.
Thank you. Each man faces death by himself. Alone.
Goodbye, Father.
He said, each man faces death by himself. Alone. Each man faces death by himself. How do we feel about that? Is that true? If you're surrounded by your family members, you're still facing death alone. You're the only one facing death. See, but the thing is, that aloneness, the term alone presupposes an ego, doesn't it? It presupposes that you've manifested some arbitrary distinction between yourself and your environment. If you're alone, that means I'm this private self. I'm a subject in a world full of objects, right? And I'm alone because I'm not, maybe if we do the work to recognize that the ego or the private self is an illusion, then death won't be accompanied by a sense of loneliness. Because that loneliness is an illusion too. That's brought on by the ego, by this idea that I'm a separate self, or that I am the things that I identify as. I identify as a man. I identify as a Republican. I identify as a Democrat. I identify as all these things. And so I feel alone when I'm by myself because it's me against the world. Because I have to let tools for escaping this tragic situation go out of my mouth and into my own ears. Pardon me. I'm gonna let him cook.
Inside me, I'm screaming. Nobody pays any attention. If I had arms, I could kill myself. If I had legs, I could run away. If I had a voice, I could talk and be some kind of company for myself. Why don't they get it over with and kill me? I could yell for help, but nobody'd help me. I've just got to do something and see how I can go on like this.
Yo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a feeling that Metallica just kind of wanted us to sit with that one. It's almost like, yo, here, let me just show you something graphic. Back when Metallica released this, I mean, when was this? 16 years ago that this was uploaded. I don't know, regardless of how old the song actually is. Hip hop kind of has those same foundations. I just want to show you something tragic. So maybe you can think about applying a part of yourself or a part of your moral philosophy to changing this situation for people. That one was dark. Thank you for the patron on Patreon who recommended we look at Metallica-One. What is next from Metallica?